Okay, this video was a request from a friend of mine who asked me, how do we let go of something or surrender it? And I basically see a lot of people struggling with this in spirituality and in groups where people are told to let go and surrender. And the truth is that most things need to be processed. So for instance, if you have the death of a dog, you find out that you've got some serious illness, your partner leaves you, you break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or you lose a job, all of these things take time to process. So when we come across people who then tell us to let it go and surrender it without processing it, they're not actually being very helpful or good friends to us. The reality is that people are on different levels of understanding, and people have had different experiences. And because of that, if we are in deep pain and we have a wound, going into groups or to people, asking people that have not had your experience, or if the people basically have a reason, to not, or to minimize. So some people will have a reason to minimize your wound or your pain. It could be that they've got their own wounds and their own pain, and they're minimizing yours because they're minimizing their own. That happens a lot. And it also happens in families where there's been abuse, where your pain will be minimized because there's guilt on their side. And in groups I've seen over the years, the best thing to do, that if you have wounding that's not resolved, and it can be from years ago, and if you've been through child abuse and you're 20, 30 years after the event and you're suffering, the reason is that that pain has not yet been fully processed. And the only way you're going to process it is by verbal ventilation, being able to speak about it, angering about it, healthy anger, and putting blame where it should be. Now, in spirituality, people don't believe in blame. They don't believe in angering. And they also believe that you maybe should just let something go. But as I've just given you with the examples, death of your best friend, death of an animal, cancer, stuff like that, people do not just let go. Childhood trauma where one's been abused for years on end, it's not just a case of letting it go, it's a case of processing. So find groups, this is my tip, find groups that specialize in the thing that you're suffering from, okay? So only speak to people, try and control who you're interacting with. So speak to people that have a heart, because often when we go through loss or abandonment, we actually do need heartfelt space. We need people that care. And then we also need to look after our own inner child and begin to care for ourselves. As we grow and develop, we can begin to look at things like, I'm just looking here, ask a question, which Jordan Peterson, I love that man, and he's expression of truth. What we can do is ask ourselves what's wrong and what would look better, and what's wrong and what would a cure look like, and what's the problem and what would a solution look like. So we have to do our own inner work as well, because even in our own pain, nobody's in effect going to heal us. When we interact with people and interact with each other, and when there's love and kindness and compassion, of course we're helping heal each other, but the buck does stop with us at the end of the day. So that's my tip on the whole concept or idea of letting go. I think as we go through life that things are easier to let go of. I'll give you a silly example, really meaningless, but I remember years ago when I was younger, I bought a new pair of jeans, and then I spilt a bit of bleach on them when I was cleaning up something, and I was upset about that spot of bleach on my jeans, my new jeans. It really got me, it really bugged me. If you're letting go of losing something like a watch, or trying to let go of, you've lost a watch and you're trying to let go of that, then fair enough. We become adults and we understand that. If your parent didn't get you the prom dress you wanted for prom, then of course, holding on to that sort of stuff is there comes a point when we do have to mature and grow up. But the deeper stuff, you know, abuses, violations, losses, betrayal, those things really take time, and that is part of our soul journey, our soul growth. So if people are hurting you, telling you, flinging off, let it go, surrender it, and it's not suiting you, just move away from those people. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, because there is just as many loving, kind people who are going to have empathy for you. And also, don't stay stuck in the wound. You know, consciously know that you're working on it. Say, I've got this wound, it really hurts, and I'm going to make efforts to resolve this wound within myself. Some people need therapy, some people can use some tapping to let it go. Really, there's so many ways we can do it, but there are no quick fixes. Ultimately, there comes a point when we just let go naturally of something that we've been holding on to, and it doesn't make us bad if we're holding on to something that's really hurt us. That's okay too, and that's part of the process. We come to it in our own understanding. So questions for yourself: what's wrong and what would look better? What's wrong? What would a cure look like? And what's the problem and what would a solution look like? Something else, we have suggested intentions for recovery. I'm going to read as quickly as I can, which will help you. So it's normal and safe, wants and needs to wish and hope for. So these are normal things that we can hope and wish for as a human being, okay? I want to develop a more constantly loving and accepting relationship with myself. I want increasing capacity for self-acceptance. I want to learn, number 2, I want to learn to become the best possible friend to myself. Number 3, I want to attract into my life relationships that are based on love, respect, fairness, and mutual support. Number 4, I want to uncover a full, uninhibited self-expression. Number 5, I want to attain the best possible physical health. Number 6, I want to cultivate a balance of vitality and peace. Number 7, I want to attract to myself loving friends and a loving community. Number 8, I want increasing freedom from toxic shame. Number 9, I want increasing freedom from unnecessary fear. Number 10, I want rewarding and fulfilling work. Number 11, I want a fair amount of peace of mind, spirit and soul and body. Number 12, I want to increase my capacity to play and have fun. And number 13, I want to make plenty of room for beauty and nature in my life. Number 14, I want sufficient physical and monetary resources. Number 15, I want a fair amount of help, self, human or divine, to get what I want and need. And 16, I want God's love, grace and blessing, whatever God means to you, of course. God comes in many forms. Number 17, I want a balance of work, rest and play. And number 18, I want balance of stability and change. Number 19, I want a balance of loving interaction and healthy self-sufficiency. Okay, key, self-sufficiency. 20, I want full emotional expression with a balance of laughter and tears, because we're human, so it's not going to be laughter all the way. And then number 21, I want sexual satisfaction, that will make you smile. And then number 22, I want to find effective and non-abusive ways to deal with anger. And number 23, I want all of this for every other human being, okay? Then this comes from The Tao of Fully Feeling by Pete Walker. And I read that rather quickly. That's the end of my video. And I hope that this has been useful for somebody out there. And play it back and listen to what I've just said, because we are all healing something, and some of us just want to bypass it, and we can't. We have to work through it and look at all the aspects of ourselves in order to heal. Thanks for watching. Thank you.